And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing FortressCraft Evolved. Working in our toxic factory here. I looked at this system a little bit, and I realized that I could do 2, 4, 6. I could do the 600 that I need here without the need for excessive amounts of hoppers, which is nice. Saving me a bunch of hoppers for the next step. So we're gonna want some hoppers. We're gonna need first. I don't want too many.
Crafting.
I want a bunch of
Crafting.
massive, huge storage hoppers for the output for this. The input, I don't want. I only need one yellow cake for these, so I'm gonna build a few small storage hoppers, just because. And you should see when these return, how fast they go. I mean, they go zoom up so fast because they're 20 meters per second, so they can move at quite a clip. You can see how fast this thing is coming up. I kind of want to just show you how fast these things come up through here. Oh, actually, they're going higher, 25. So here we go. Whee! And this one's shouldn't be too far behind. Whee! Okay, so the other thing we're going to need is some centrifuges, and that will kickstart this whole system. Alright, and we're going to do, I think they're in mining. Yeah, enrichment centrifuge. So, I really should have made this a one-click craft, but I didn't, fortunately. So we need 63, so this is the same size as a blast furnace. It's the same model, but it's slightly tweaked. Slightly tweaked. As far as scripts go, I tweaked it. So we're gonna get one of them going right away, because I really don't have the power yet to make this maximum effort here. We're gonna also, if we can, grab all of those. Do we have? See, we don't really have enough titanium. I'm gonna just steal all of that. I want to make sure we're gonna have plenty of lightweight housings going forward. So there we go. A whole another 2,000 of those ready to go. So the centrifuge. I mean, these things are gonna draw some power, and I'm gonna have 2 lines of these going, and I want to set this up in a way that really helps manage of this stuff. So we're gonna put one. I want to make sure we avoid that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll be able to make this work. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, like I said, it's the same model as the blast furnace, but it is a little tweaked. For one, you can put your mouse over it and see that it's the centrifuge. So this is 1,000 power per second on this beast, and it's going to want the yellow cake input, and it's going to output the glorious uranium that we're going to want, the few pellets, if you will. Okay. So, the system I'm thinking for this, if we bring our yellow cake down right in the middle of this, right in here. So if we're going to bring this in the middle, I'm going to have, let's see, let's square this away here. So, we're going to have the small hoppers here, and then one here. We're going to have a turntable right there. Then we'll be able to put another centrifuge right in here. Okay, and then 2 over here. Okay, and then the output, we're going to push into huge storage hoppers on either side. Okay, so this is going to be remove only, and this is going to be remove only, and that's going to be add only, and this one's going to be add only. Okay, so this is going to go here and here. Now to power these, somebody suggested my last series that I power these with a shared battery, and I like that. Oh man, I just put something way up here. Love when I do that. And you're gonna fall all the way down, I think. Where did you go? Maybe I picked it up already. Oh, I hope I did. Okay. Let's make sure we're right on the money there. Okay, so down here. There we go. And then we'll be able to beam power over to the next set. So the next set doesn't need to be, there doesn't need to be a gap in the next set. So the next set's going to go right here. And then another gap right here. So the next battery will be right above here, and we'll be able to beam power over. So while we've got all this stuff planned, I need to borrow some power from somewhere just to start this up, because we're going to create a system where we're going to be able to beam a lot of power down there. So let's finish this off like so. So let's borrow a little power. I'm going to build one nuclear reactor right away, so I should have enough. So 25, 26, 27. So there's a reactor. And we're gonna try, let's see, nuclear reactor. I'm gonna need a Mark III conduit. Maybe even more than one of these. Speaking of batteries, I'm gonna go up and grab. Go up and grab batteries. I should have a lot of them. There we go. So the output from all these centrifuges, we're gonna bring in and then bring out this way. So these as well over here. And then let's see. Do we want... I could burrow this into the ground one. I think that might be a good idea. Yeah, I grabbed a yellow cake, but it is what it is. Let this pop up right here. Sort of like an underground belt with Factorio, only not. There we go. And this one comes across like that. This one goes down. Goes down like that. Okay, so now we have these coming up. So I'm going to bring these out a little bit more. And let's bring them in this way. So now we can go over that. So these are going to come in, and we're going to slap them into a huge storage hopper. Like so. And then we need the primed fuel rod crafter. So one here and here. Okay, so it needs 1 empty fuel rod and 8 uranium dioxide. Well, that's what these things create, is that uranium dioxide, and then they need 8 of them a piece. And then they need 50 power per second. So, where do we want? Okay, so this is going to be remove only, obviously, and then we're going to have another one. This one's going to be remove only, and then so that takes care of the uranium dioxide and the empty fuel rods. Now we need to have an output. So I'm going to have an output this way. This is add only, and an output this way. This one's add only. Okay, so there's our fuel that we're going to get, and then I can bring these in. You know what? I'm going to go under. Under is the key. Okay, so our final fuel will go right up into here, and I'll put a 2,000 slot hopper right here. But I need the result first. So we're also going to want a 2,000 slot hopper for empty fuel rods eventually. So I'm going to grab what I've got here and be able to dump those in. So empty fuel rod, pretty obvious what it looks like because it's empty fuel rod. So now we just need that uranium dioxide and we need power. So I'm going to put the power here. Actually, yeah, put the power like that. Maybe one there. And if we want, I'm going to put a battery there, beaming down and in. Just like that. So the final fuel, the final step for the fuel, I want to make sure we've got plenty of potential fuel for this system. So I'm going to use I'm going to leave myself a little space. Let's do 4. So if that's the middle, that's 1, 2 that way, 1, 2 that way. Yeah, I think this is what we're gonna do. We want 2 this way, 2 this way, 2 this way. Oh, we're gonna want more than 2 that way. 2 this way. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You guessed it, we're gonna put a Mark V battery in right here. This is one of the reasons I wanted so many batteries. Okay, so this is going to be my behemoth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Structure complete.
Bingo. Okay, so end result, we need a battery. Oh, this is going to be a little tricky because I'm going to need another Mark IV to feed this one from this one. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. That's going to be cutting it a little close. So let's build that out anyway. I want to mark this off here, like so, because that's going to be 1, 2, 3. And that's not enough room for conduit, so we're going to have to be creative. And I think what we're going to do... Oh yeah, see, we cannot pull that back one. That has to go right there. So... Now I'm looking at this. We built this way too close. So I'm going to have to move that thing away, because I need at least enough space for a mark. At least enough space for a conduit. So if we were to pull this back like 2 more. That should be enough room. These are kind of a pain to break down. It's better to do all this now than wait until there's 4.5 million power in there. That's for darn sure. Okay, so I should have enough to build this back. Whoa, come on. Oh, I hear a helicopter outside, or a small plane. All right, back in business. Okay, so going back out to here, and here. There we go. Now we should have plenty. We should have plenty of space. Just like that. Now we can put a conduit here and one here, and there's a gap of 1 in between, but that's okay. It is what it is. Okay, so the other thing, the reason I put this right where I did, is I want another Mark IV battery on this side. So let's wrap that around and then wrap this up. There we go. And now we can have another battery line beaming power down this one too, which is excellent. And then underneath here, you guessed it, underneath here is where our nuclear reactor is going to go. And this thing will power this whole system eventually. So down here, we're going to have a nuclear reactor. And we're going to place this thing 1, 2, 3. Make sure the entire top of this thing is covering that battery. Get the most power gen that we can get. And there's the reactor. Yes, it looks like a lab. Nothing I can do about that. Okay, so we're also going to want a conduit in here, but first we need power. We need a little bit of power, and if we have patience, we could borrow a little power from here. And it wants 1,000 power per second. Well, we can't really give it 1,000 power per second, unfortunately. So it needs like 6,000 power to even get started. Okay, I think it's time we load in some yellow cake on this. So this is a remove only, and there we go. It's starting to spin up. And granted, it won't be able. It's like a 30-second craft, and it's gonna pull so much power. And as you can see, it'll wind. The spinny things will wind down. So let's try to borrow some more power if we can. Where's a good spot? Right in here is it? This is a good one to borrow power from. And let's see. Whoa, I forgot that doesn't exist anymore. I blew that up. Try to beam it into this. So let's come off here. Come on, reset. There you go. So now we're beaming power. Yeah, and the turbine has to has to wind itself back up. And then we need some conduit. So let's... Oh, I'm out of power myself. Okay, so that's not good. All that jetpacking around really takes its toll. Come on, charge it up. Boy, pulling power out of a battery is not a fast process. And then while we're down here, we can charge Arthur up. Okay. The last thing I want to do this episode is get that conduit up and running. So I want one of these, and then one of these. Mark III conduit can move 50,000 power per second. Well, that just happens to be how much power the reactor can make. Oh yeah, I need 2 of them. That's right. And from my last series, I know that conduits are a little wonky, so I'm not sure. Not sure how to handle that. So we have, instead of conduit there, I want Mark III. There it is. So now this thing should be just fine. And it's got 99, so that uranium dioxide went in there. So now we need to enable the yellow cake. And she's full of power now. Come on. Come on, turntable. There you go. And there it starts up, spins up. Everything is happy. So we need 8 of those uranium dioxides to make ourselves a primed fuel rod. Now the other thing that you're going to want is a ton of Freon in here. And if you want to, you know, create your own little Freon distribution system, you are more than welcome. But for me, I am just going to take the Freon that we've got. I'm going to put 2,000 of it in there. But then I'm just going to have a logistics hopper. And, you know, we're not going to get anything back out of this. Once the fuel rod is used up, it's used up. It's dead. Alright. I'm going to use a huge storage hopper for now. And how much... See, we've got some high-strength composite alloy ready to go. And we had another uranium dioxide move through. How many do we have now? I want to get our first... Oh, we've only got 3. Okay. Well, that'll have to do it for this episode. And I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.